Do you want to increase your shoulder flexibility? In this video, I'm going to show you the best exercises you want to use if you want to increase your shoulder flexibility and mobility. These are really effective exercises, easy, and most importantly, they require minimal equipment. So you can have a really deep stretch with not a lot of equipment, just some things that you can have at home or, of course, at the gym. Are you ready? Let's start. The flexibility guy, Coach Elia. Alright guys, so we do want to start with the first exercise for your rotator cuff, which is a complex of muscles deep inside of your shoulders. If you have a flexible rotator cuff, you can have flexible shoulders, and the reverse is also true. If you don't have a flexible rotator cuff, you probably can't have a flexible shoulder joint, all right? So this is why it's really important to focus the stretch on your rotator cuff to have a flexible rotator cuff. Now I'm gonna give you my back because you do want to see how I'm moving my hands in the position, all right? So I want to grab the stick with one hand on top, one hand at the bottom, and I do want to join my hands together to create the stretch. Now basically here I'm going to be stretching my top shoulder, my tricep, my teres major, which is one of the muscles inside of the rotator cuff, and my lat as well, and my bottom shoulder here. I'm going to be stretching my supraspinatus and my subscapularis, which are two muscles of the rotator cuff, and also the deltoid as well. All right, so I'm going to be stretching both shoulders, different muscles though, so this is really complete. Now, a strategy I can suggest you use here is this. You do want to, of course, stay in the stretch 6 to 10 breaths, and then you do want to push your hands away from each other really gently, all right? Gently for 10 seconds, and then you want to do reverse. So you want to push your hands one close to the other using the stick, of course, all right? So using the stick, you do want to push your hands one against each other, all right, for 10 seconds again, and then you stop, inhale, exhale, you get deeper into the stretch. Now, a little tip I can give you, all right, when you perform this exercise is also this. When you have your hand on top like this, you don't want to flare your rib cage out. I'm going to be talking about this a lot throughout this video, but the main idea is that you do want to keep a neutral spine, even a little curved here on the middle back area, all right? So keep your chest in as you perform this exercise and drive the top hand down, trying to move your elbow up and your shoulder toward your ear. This is going to stretch the entire shoulder, the top shoulder, like crazy. And of course, you do want to do the same on the other side. Now, the other side, so the hand you got at the bottom, like this, all right? So this hand here, this shoulder has to be retracted a little bit, which means that you don't want to slide forward with this shoulder. This is the most common mistake. You want to keep this shoulder neutral, all right? And you want to try to drive this hand in between your shoulder blades, all right? The bottom hand here, you do want to drive the bottom hand in between your shoulder blades, and of course, the other hand follows, all right? This is what you do want to do during this first exercise for your rotator cuff. Really a gold one, all right? So this is the first exercise. You do want to start from here if you want to have flexible shoulders, because the rotator cuff is so important for that. Now, let's say the second one. All right, second exercise you do want to do, you want to take out of your chest muscles, chest, subscapularis, front part of your deltoid, all right? This exercise here is excellent for that. We got two variations. Now, you do want to lie down with your belly on the floor like this. Now, you do want to extend one hand out like this. You press your shoulder against the floor. You keep your arms straight like that. Now, the hand has to stay a little on top of your shoulder like that. Not too much, not like that, just a little, all right? Now you press your shoulder against the floor, and now with the top leg, can you see, I'm making a rotation. So at first I do want to drive my hips to the side like this. This is going to create the stretch, all right? Now with the other hand, I do want to stay in front of my chest, and I can move my body into the stretch. As I do that, I do want to keep that shoulder against the floor. If that feels good, then I can use a weight put it on top and move it against the other hand. This is going to stretch my shoulder, both the top and the bottom shoulder, but the bottom shoulder remains my focus, all right? So I do want to focus my attention there. This is going to stretch my shoulders like crazy. I can remain here 6 to 10 breaths, and then I can also perform another variation. So this one is for the chest and for the bicep on the front part of the delt. Now, if I bend my arm like this, 90 degrees, this is going to shift the focus a little bit on my subscapularis because I'm going to externally rotate my arm just a little more. So 90 degrees on my elbow, same, so shoulder against the floor. Now slowly kind of rotating to the stretch, and then I move my hand up and back like this to create a deeper stretch. Always remember, you do want to move your shoulder back, all right? So the bottom shoulder is pulled back as I'm in the stretch. After 6 to 10 breaths, I can also apply PNF contraction. I do want to push this hand here against the floor for 10 seconds, and then I want to push it away, so opposite direction, for 10 seconds again, and I want to inhale, exhale, get deeper into the stretch. This is kind of the main idea I want to use to give my chest a very, very, very deep stretch. Of course, you do want to repeat on both the sides. If you have a stiffer side, you do want to perform a set more on that side, all right? Use it to stretch your chest and your subscapularis, so also your rotator cuff a little like crazy. This is the second one for your shoulder flexibility. Now, let's see the third one. Third exercise you do want to use for your shoulder flexibility, you just need a little bar like this one, all right? Now, the main idea during this one is this. You do want to grab the bar with both hands at first and go into an hang, a passive hang. So here you do want to understand the technique of an hang, all right? So when you are hanging, when you are trying to hang and to stretch your body like that, you do want to keep your chest in. So again, this concept of keeping your rib cage in, try not to expand, try not to flare your ribs out, keep your ribs in, all right? So hang like that, chest in, and shoulders toward the ears, all right? So shoulders up toward the ears. Now, one foot in front of you, the other leg in like that. And then you slide and you put your foot like that, laterally, all right? Now you straighten your leg like this and you let the hips go toward the floor. This is going to stretch this shoulder like crazy now, all right? Now, you don't want to tense your shoulder too much, so you do want to apply pressure and let your body go toward the floor like that. Keep your elbows straight and keep pushing the hips down and the shoulder up. Now, when you feel comfortable here, you can put the other hand here. This is going to create more pressure on your shoulder, and of course, this is going to stretch your shoulder more. Now, you do want to remain here, chest in, remember, chest in, and move your shoulder up, keep your elbow straight, and then you want to remain here. The more you push your hips toward the floor, the more intense the stretch will be. And you just want to remain here 10 to 20 breaths per side. Of course, you do want to repeat on both the sides. This is my favorite one. There's no stretch like this for your lats and for your shoulder in general. This is going to stretch your lats, your chest, your rotator cuff, your tricep, almost all the muscles that move your shoulder, all right? You want to repeat on both the sides. If you got a stiffer side, one set more on that side. And this is the third exercise you do want to use for your shoulder flexibility. Now, let's get to the fourth exercise. Fourth exercise you do want to use for your shoulder flexibility, a classic one, all right? This is the bicep stretch, one of the best ones for your triceps, for your lats, for your chest, and for your rotator cuff as well. You need to stick in a weight, a chair or a bench, something like that. Now, you do want to start with this kind of grip on the stick, all right? So you do want to grab the stick with a supinated grip like that. Now you grab the stick like that, elbows on the support. Now again, this concept of not letting the rib cage flare out, all right? So you don't want to go into the stretch with an arched back and with your ribs out. You do want to keep your ribs in, shrug your shoulders up on top. So shrug your shoulders up, keep your ribs in. Now bend your elbows, keep your elbows over there, move your knees away from the support, posterior tilt, so you don't want to arch the back again. You do want to posterior tilt, so flatten your back, keep your ribs in, shrug your shoulders up, move your armpits, like the stretch is created by the armpits that are going down toward the floor. This is the main idea, all right? So armpits towards the floor, posterior tilt, chest in, go down. This is how you want to perform the stretch. Now you can bend your elbows more to create more tricep stretch. Now, once you are here, keep your shoulder blades protracted, your chest in, to create the best lat stretch possible. And don't forget to shrug your shoulders up. After 6 to 10 breaths, you can apply a PNF contraction. You do want to push your elbows against the support for 10 seconds. Then after that, you do want to stop the contraction, inhale, and on the exhale, you do want to get deeper into the stretch, trying to push your armpits towards the floor more. Don't forget to posterior tilt, keep your chest in, shrug your shoulders up. Kind of, as I'm here, I'm always trying to kind of think about what I'm doing. So I'm trying to do that every 2 to 3 breaths. I'm connecting with my body again. I'm moving again into posterior, because your body forgets about it. Your body wants to go into, wants to compensate for the stretch in some way. So you gotta constantly think about it to fix your technique and find the best stretch possible. All right, so armpits towards the floor, neutral spine, chest in, posterior pelvic tilt, and this is how you want to perform this wonderful, excellent shoulder flexibility exercise. There's the fourth one. One last one for your shoulder and thoracic spine flexibility. This is the last shoulder flexibility exercise I do want to show you, because this is one of my favorite ones to work on your shoulder and thoracic spine flexibility. The thoracic spine is really important when it comes to shoulder flexibility. So you do want to have a flexible thoracic spine as well. Now, what you do want to do is this. You do want to grab yourself a chair or a bench and a wall, all right? Now you do want to kind of find a setup that works for you. Now I got this distance between the chair and the wall, but it may be different for you. It depends on the length of your arms, of your torso as well. So find your setup following these guidelines, all right? So at first you do want to start with your shoulder blades on top of the chair like this and your hips up, all right? Just the shoulder blades. As you can see, the lower back is out of the chair. Now, hands against the wall, thumbs facing down like this, arms straight. Shrug your shoulders up as much as you can. Now, from here, the concept is this. You do want to start with your hips up, and then you do want to bring your hips down as much as you can. You do want to go into the stretch and come back up. You do want to repeat this for reps, for example, for 6 reps. On the last one, you do want to remain here for 10 breaths. Trying every couple of breaths to get deeper into the stretch. After 10 breaths, you can try to bring your hands further down towards the floor, all right? So the more you lower your hands down, the more intense the stretch will be. Of course, take your time, this is really intense. So, shrug your shoulders up, keep your elbows straight, move your hips down and up, down and up, and on the last one, remain in the position for longer. 10 breaths is what I suggest you do. As you are in the stretch, remember that you don't want to flare your rib cage out. Your rib cage stays in. You shrug your shoulders up and you try to move your hips down, trying not to work with your rib cage flexibility, but with your shoulder flexibility only, all right? And to do that, you don't want to flare out this area of your body. You do want to keep this area in and open through the armpits and open through the hip and the thoracic spine, not through the ribs, all right? Of course, you gotta find, as I said, your setup. The distance between your chair or the bench and the wall depends on your joint proportions, all right, on your joints length. But that said, this is how you want to perform this final and fifth exercise for your shoulder flexibility. All right, guys, so these are the top 5 exercises you want to use if you want to have a flexible shoulder joint and a flexible upper body. Remember that if you enjoyed the content, you can hit that thumb up button and leave me a comment. Also, if you have any questions or doubts. Also, remember that if you want to create a personalized program with me, you can do that today. You can book a free call. We're gonna jump on a call and we're gonna talk about your goals, your time availability and stuff. And I'm gonna create a personalized program for you to reach your goals. Upper body flexibility, lower body flexibility, splits, handstands, it doesn't matter. We're gonna figure out how to reach your goals, all right? And to book your call, you can check the link in the description down below. With that said, thank you so much for staying with me today. Have a nice stretch and see you in the next video. Bye. Hey, if you want to improve your shoulders, upper body and back flexibility with all the exercises you need, you should definitely check out this book, Shoulders Range, which is available on Amazon right now.